here with Neve Duston, head coach Neve and Nicole Auger, to start off with some opening thoughts on advancing in penalty kicks today over Columbus State by the final 2-2 after a tie, and then winning 4-2 on penalties.
Obviously, the main point of progressing is big. It's an emotional game. I think some big moments and big pieces of the game that obviously had an outcome, in penalty kicks. So we're pleased to progress, but it was a tough game, and credit to Columbus State for playing their part as well.
Neve, we'll start with you. Going up to the penalty spot, 92nd appearance today, all time here with Lenoir-Rhyne. You're the most appeared there of the program history. Stepping to that moment, knowing what that could have done for your program, how did you approach it, and how well were you that you executed?
Well, I'm a big manifester of good things, and any moment where there's not a lot of conversation and it's just sort of quiet, I like to just think of good things. And I was thinking, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to tear my shirt off. And I did just that, and it just shows how manifesting moments works, but also how this team was made for those moments.
Nicole, I'll throw it over to you. You scored the goal in the first overtime period. 2 straight matches in the NCAA tournament that you have found the back of the net. How pleased are you with your performance so far here in the tournament for the open weekend?
I mean, it was crazy. I loved it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I played for the seniors, and I just took a deep breath, and I don't know how I headed it, but I did, and it was great.
So, Columbus State scores with 5 minutes left on your home pitch, and all of a sudden, a match that seems like you guys have been dominating the possession for most of it, all of a sudden it becomes a frantic push up forward. What was that 5 minutes like here at home, and how relieved are you as a team when Ellen Hansen was able to find the back of the net with 59 seconds left?
I mean, I think the first half we had plenty of chances, and we should have scored a number of those chances, and fine margins that keep teams in games, and they compete and fight and are dangerous in terms of first and second balls in our box. And the goal they scored was a poor one for us to concede from a team perspective. And then you're in scramble mode, and we throw Kate Casey up front, and we start sending some balls in. Obviously, we have a corner the last few seconds, and load the box. And we put bodies and compete in that moment, and ultimately it kept us in the game. And from that point on, we didn't really manage the game fantastically well. I think the first overtime period was decent. But then again, he got frantic in the second period and let them back into the game. So we've got to be better in those moments and be able to control the game a little bit better. But in terms of executing big moments and staying in the game and scoring some big goals at key times, we were able to do that.
I'll open this up to anybody. Last year, this is the team that you lost to in the NCAA tournament. How great is it to get the win against them this time around here to get to the third round?
I think a big thing going into this year and a mindset that sort of changed from past years is that we made it a lot about ourselves and what we can control and less about the teams. I think, yes, we lost to Columbus State last year, and there's always going to be a bit of that fire, a bit of rivalry, but at the end of the day, we know if we put in a performance and play how we want to play, any game is ours, and it's less about the team and more about the work and the effort and the love for the game that we put in.
So, talking about playing as a team, now you got your next opponent, is Catawba again. Third time we're going to play them in this month. 2 of them have been excellent battles. 2 pretty much were playing for championships, a regular season championship, then for the title championship, but now in the NCAA tournament. I know it's a little bit ahead, but just initial thoughts about playing the Indians for a third time.
It's one of those. It's playing a team 3 times. Like, it's difficult because we know everything about each other, and they know everything about us, and again, those minor margins can have a difference on the game. So, we just got to be in the next round, and whoever we play, we'll go from there. But, it should be a good matchup.
And also, this was your last match at home this season. This is open for anyone. Talking about what this LR fan base and Hickman community has done for you guys this year and the support that you saw this weekend from your fans.
I mean, it was great seeing the fans being full. I mean, I love the parents because they've been there since day one, and like the track team and all of that. It's just great to see the fans grow and just come out and support us. And I know there's multiple people watching online, so I feel like that's also great.
And to end my LR career with so many fans and support for a whole team, I mean, that's really what it's about. I've come to the school in 2019, and I'm leaving on such a high on the home field, and it feels great as a unit.
Anything else?
I got one just to follow up on that. Like, not everybody gets a storybook ending to their career on their home field. Like, you get to go out knowing the last time you'll ever step on this field was winning this game in PKs. You talked about a 19 team that lost it here. How does that, like, kind of put a cap on your...
It's like full circle. I mean, it starts off my freshman year, like, unfortunately losing at home in the NCAAs, but then you cap it off in my super senior year with a great group of people, a great group of fans, like staff that supports you, an amazing coach, and it ends it on a high. I mean, no matter what, this team is going to be special and this school is going to be special to me, but it's especially special because of the people and the team and the way that that game ended. I mean, it epitomizes LR and, like, my home.
It's interesting, like, because obviously we had a penalty kick situation against Catawba in the final, and I made some tweaks in terms of the order in that game. And originally I had Neve as the 4th penalty, and then changed it to the 5th one in that last game, thinking that it may be the deciding penalty in that moment. So we ended up keeping the same, and pleased for Neve to be able to get that pretty cool moment.
Thanks, Dean.
And I guess the coach, flip-flopping goalies back and forth, was SA going to be the plan going into the PKs, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've got multiple good goalkeepers. I mean, obviously we've practiced penalties, and, you know, in the moment of who may we, you know, go to in that moment is up for debate, but we chose with SA, and in the flow of the game, I think we needed to relieve some pressure with some distribution and distance on kicking, so that's why we made the change with Kristen, and I think that helped kind of sway the game a little bit in our favour. But it was always in my head that SA was going to go in goal for penalties, and fair play to her, she stayed engaged and locked in, and, you know, she could have been disappointed for coming off the field, but, you know, she's a team player and she put the team first and was ready for the penalty kick situation.